Hello, class, and welcome to Brain and Behavior. My name is Dr. Neil Soggie. For those of you that find it difficult to remember how to pronounce my name, just simply call me Neil. That's probably the best. I'm thrilled to welcome you to a very captivating journey of understanding the intricate relationship that there is between human brain and behavior. Within this course, we will be exploring that remarkable intersection of biology and psychology and taking a deep dive into the inner workings of the mind. And as your instructor, I am myself excited to guide you through the fascinating world of neuroscience and all of its profound implications for behavior and experiences. And over the course of the semester, we will embark on a journey discovering and revealing the astonishing complexity of the brain, its structures, and its functions. And we will delve into the neural mechanisms behind various cognitive processes, such as perception and memory and learning and decision-making. And you will gain insights into the ways our brain processes emotions, how it shapes our motivations, and even how it influences our social interactions. Some valuable topics and concepts that you can look forward to exploring within this course are, first off, neuroanatomy and neural communication. We will uncover the fundamental building blocks of the nervous system. We will learn about neurons and synapses and understand how electrical and chemical signals contribute to neural communication. We will explore about sensation and perception and discover how our brain interprets sensory inputs from the environment, giving rise to our perception of the world around us. And we will learn about the intriguing phenomena of illusions and sensory adaptation. We will explore learning and memory and explore the mechanisms behind learning and memory formation and gain insights into how our brain encodes and stores and retrieves information. We will look at emotions and motivation and delve into the neural underpinnings of emotions and motivation and, of course, reward systems, and understand how these processes drive our behaviors and our decisions. We will look into cognitive processes and investigate higher-order cognition functions such as attention and morality and language and problem solving and decision making, and unravel the neural networks responsible for all of these abilities. We will also look at some social neuroscience and examine the neurological basis of human social interaction. Things like empathy and the ways our brain processes and responds to things like social cues. And of course, we will also look at neurological disorders and mental health. And hopefully you will gain some understanding of the various neurological disorders that impact our lives and how they impact behavior and cognition, as well as explore the connections between neuroscience and mental health. And throughout this course, you will be exposed to some cutting-edge research, some thought-provoking decisions and discussions. And we will do some exploration together as groups, as peers. And as we do, hopefully you will discover just how fearfully and wonderfully made that you are. And as we journey through the history of our exploration into the brain and behavior, it's essential to pay some homage to the brilliant minds of the past, those who paved the way for our understanding. So today, I'd like to share with you a story of Outman of Croton, an ancient Greek and technically Italian, I guess, philosopher and physician who made a significant discovery about the brain. Now, in the bustling city of Croton in southern Italy around the 5th century BCE, Outman was a respected figure known for his contribution to many fields, including medicine and philosophy and, of course, psychology. And it's said that Outman was one of the first to propose a revolutionary idea that challenged prevailing beliefs of his time. You see, in the ancient world, many believed that the heart was the seat of human consciousness and intellect. And this idea stemmed from observations of the heart's constant beating and its vital role in sustaining life. However, Outman was not content with that conventional wisdom, and he was a keen observer and a critical thinker, and Outman embarked upon a quest to unravel the mysteries of the human body and the mind. And so he began dissecting animals and human cadavers and practice discovering and trying to understand what was going on. And these were the kinds of things that were groundbreaking at the time. Through his dissections, he discovered a complex structure within the head that seemed to be intricately connected to the senses as well as to the mind. And this structure, as you might have guessed, was the brain. So Outman proposed that the brain, and not the heart, was the true center of sensation and intellect. He argued that the brain was the source of our perceptions and thoughts and emotions. And this was a radical departure from the prevailing belief of his time, and his ideas would eventually lay the foundation for our modern understanding of brain function. So Outman's theory, it really lay dormant for centuries, as many of his contemporaries clung to the traditional view of the heart as the seat of consciousness. However, his insights would eventually be revisited and built upon by future scholars. And this set in motion the gradual shift towards recognizing the brain's central role in shaping human behavior and cognition. So Outman's groundbreaking insights into the brain's significance did not gain widespread acceptance during his lifetime, but despite this, his compelling arguments led to eventually people considering the brain as the seat of human consciousness. Yes, it took centuries. But in the time that followed Outman, there were a few key figures that championed Outman's perspective. One of those was Hippocrates, often referred to as the father of medicine. And Hippocrates, who lived around a century after Outman, integrated Outman's ideas into his own medical teachings, acknowledging the brain's role in sensory perception and cognition. However, it wasn't until the great philosopher Aristotle, who lived in the 4th century BCE, that the shift from the heart to the brain gained significant momentum. Aristotle's influence on science and philosophy really was immense, and his writings on the brain further legitimized Outman's earlier observations. Aristotle emphasized the importance of the brain as the center of sensation and proposed that it was the organ responsible for receiving and interpreting sensory information. And with the gradual accumulation of evidence and the endorsement of influential thinkers like Hippocrates and Aristotle, Outman's radical theory gained increasing acceptance, and his insights laid the foundation and the groundwork for the study of neuroanatomy and for exploring the relationship between brain structure and brain function. Now we fast forward several thousand years to the Renaissance area, and we find that Outman's ideas were revisited once again. And as scientific inquiry gained momentum and anatomical knowledge grew, figures like Andreas Vesalius, a Belgian anatomist from the 16th century, provided more detailed descriptions of the brain structures. And these descriptions aligned with Outman's earlier observations, and this further reinforced the notion that the brain was indeed the epicenter of cognitive and sensory processes. So Outman's story teaches us a valuable lesson about the progression of scientific understanding. Paradigm shifts often face resistance, but over time, evidence and thoughtful inquiry will prevail. Yes, sometimes it takes centuries. Sometimes it takes millennia. But Outman's daring challenge of convention paved the way for a deeper understanding of the brain's critical role in shaping behavior and cognition, setting the stage for that intricate field of neuroscience that we will be exploring within this course. And so I hope you are excited about the journey that you're about to delve into. Now, before we dive into the fascinating world of the brain, let's lighten the mood with a brain-related joke. So, why did the neuron invite the astrocyte to the party? Because it heard astrocytes were great at networking and keeping things connected. Oh, you didn't like that one? Well, trust me, it's a good joke. And hey, by the end of the course, I'm sure you will realize what a great joke it was. And hopefully, you'll appreciate my other brain-based humor as we go through this course. Now, let's focus our neural connections and delve back into the complexities of the brain and behavior and what you can expect from this course. Now, over the next few months, we will embark on a really captivating journey. We're going to look at the intricacies of the human brain and its profound influence on behavior and cognition and emotions. So, what I want to do today is provide you a bit of a glimpse of what we will cover in the first few months of this course. So, over the next month, what can you expect as far as what we will be looking at within this course? And if you want to follow along in the syllabus, that would be fantastic. You can find it on the course site. In the first month of this course, we will lay the foundation for what it takes to understand the complexities of the brain. We will look at the vocabulary and the role of how the brain shapes our thoughts and actions and interactions. And we will delve essentially into the neuroanatomy and neural function of the brain. So for the first week, we will be setting the stage for our exploration. So during this first week, we will basically provide a course overview. That's what we're going to be doing today. Look at the course structure and some of the course expectations, and you'll get a glimpse into the exciting topics that we'll be delving into, from understanding brain structure to unraveling the mystery of behavior and cognition. Next week, we will look at an introduction to the nervous system and cranial nerves. So in that second week, we'll delve into the fundamentals of the nervous system, and you'll gain insights into its organizations and function and the intricate network of nerves that enable communication between different parts of the body and brain. We will focus upon, of course, the cranial nerves, which play a critical role in sensory and motor function, providing a vital link between the brain and the head and the neck. Week 3, we will look at gross neuroanatomy, the cortex and the central nervous system organization. So in that third week, we will look at the fascinating realm of gross neuroanatomy, the overall basic structure of the cerebral cortex, and delve into the organization of the central nervous system. We will try to understand how different brain regions contribute to specific functions, and how they provide valuable insights into the neural basis of various behaviors and cognitive processes. And then by the end of September, we will have taken a look at neurons and cytoarchitecture and neurotransmitters, where we will zoom into the building blocks of the nervous system, which are neurons. We'll uncover the intricacies of neuron structure, their diverse functions, and the role of neurotransmitters in transmitting signals across the synapses. And this understanding really forms the bedrock for comprehending how neural circuits underlie complex cognitive functions, as well as emotions and behavior. And so as we explore this world of neuroscience, I hope that you appreciate just how intricate the brain is, and you will be able to have a foundation to understand yourself and your own inner workings. As we move on in this captivating realm of brain and behavior, we will move on into October, where we will delve into a little more specifics with brain and behavior, where we will look at the neural underpinnings of sensory perception, motor control, and language processing. So in week 5, we will look at visual and auditory systems. We'll explore how the brain processes visual information, enabling us to perceive the rich tapestry of colors and shapes and patterns around us. And simultaneously, we'll dive into the auditory system, decoding the auditory landscape of sounds and tones and speech. In week 6, we will explore somatosensory systems and experiences of agnosia. And here we'll unravel the mysteries of touch and temperature and proprioception, and our perception, which is essentially our perception of body position and movement. And moreover, we'll delve into the intriguing phenomenon of what is known as agnosia, where individuals struggle to recognize familiar objects, further highlighting the intricate connection between perception and cognition. In week 7, we'll look at motor control and language, and we will uncover the neural circuits responsible for orchestrating our every movement, from the simplest gestures to complex dancing. We'll look at how all of this works, and we'll also, of course, delve into the neural basis of language, and how the brain processes and produces spoken and written communication, shaping our ability to express ideas and connect with others. In week 8, as we come to close to the end of October, we'll look at the limbic system and emotional disorders. And here we'll gain insight into how the brain processes and regulates emotions, as well as how disruptions within this system can lead to emotional disorders. And our exploration will underscore the intricate connection between brain function and emotional experiences. And then finally, as we end out our time in October and move into November, we will explore the reward system and the dopaminergic system and addictions. And we'll look at how the brain responds to rewards and its implications in addictive behavior. And we'll gain an appreciation of how to develop potential interventions for addictions. And so that will round out our time in October. And then as we move into November, we will unveil the complexities of the mind and move towards clinical insights, where we look at the neural underpinnings of neural diseases and infections, as well as clinical assessments of how the brain is working. Now, of course, week 10 is reading week, and so there will be a little bit of time for you to catch your breath and consolidate your learning. And it's also an opportunity for you to review and reflect upon what you've done in this course. And then in week 11, we will be working in our groups at this point. And so some of your peers will be teaching you what they have learned through their research, where they take a look at nervous system infections. And here the group presentation will look at how various infections impact that delicate neural environment and the potential consequences that this can have to cognitive and motor function. And then similarly, another group will do a presentation on neurodegeneration. And that will explore and unravel the mechanisms underlying conditions like, for example, Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, or other diseases that they might choose to focus on, and how it gradually erodes neural function. And then we'll close out the semester by taking a look at the clinical, neurological, and psychiatric mental status exam. And this is a good transition to end the course by taking a look at a clinical, practical way of assessing a client. If you were to see a client and need to do a referral, for example, if you're a counselor and you wanted to see if you needed to do some kind of referral to a neurologist or a psychologist, what kinds of things would you look for? And so we'll delve into this critical assessment used to evaluate things like cognitive and sensory and motor function, as well as mental health aspects. And this will provide for you some practical insight about the valuable tools of understanding and diagnosing neurological and psychiatric conditions. And that will round out our course. Now, I hope that you find all of that very exciting. And as we continue on, I encourage you to take some time to read the syllabus, to understand the course expectations within this course, and to be mindful of the various assignments that will be coming due. So take some time, read through all of the material on this week's course site, and ensure that you have a good understanding of just what is expected of you within this course. Again, I am super excited to be your professor. My name is Dr. Neil Soggie, and thank you so much for being a part of this course. I hope that this will be a life-changing course for you as you appreciate just how fearfully and wonderfully made that you are. You take care, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.